It's been worth it. Alright, so we are officially live now, so let me go ahead and mute my volume because I watched the video at the same time so I can check the chat. Alright, so welcome to the Kingdom YouTubers. Tonight we will be going over an event analysis and I'll be grinding for a little bit. Clint, welcome back. As far as I know, you are the only person on my channel that has found me via Omelette. There you go. Ashley, good to have you. Cage is in here in Discord with me. If any of you have Discord, you're welcome to join in. Discord link's at the top. Vintage, good to have you here. Alright, so we have something really special to go over tonight. And that is what I believe to be the closest to a balanced event that the developers have given. I'm not saying that the rewards in here are stellar by any means. To be honest with you, I don't think there's anything in here that is worth taking a second look at, with the exception of the reward at 17,000. I share Vintage's feelings on the Orb of Justice, that it is a must-have for any collection, and multiples are never bad. But the rest of this stuff, Yoon, it's good to have you in here. The rest of this stuff, I'm actually really impressed with the spacing that they have in this event. Now, I'll go ahead and put the simple idea down for all of you who just want to know if this is worth it for free to play. The answer to your question is, if you already have these ice relics, the 4-star versions, Ice Gauntlet, Ice Helm, then you know what? Feel free to pass up on this event. Get yourself to 2,000 souls. Take it easy this weekend and just harvest what you can. If you can get to 3,000 souls, even better, but save your gems, you'll be good to go. Drew, it's good to have you in here. Oh, well, good luck with that, Clint. Alright, now, for my explanation on why I believe this is a great balanced event by Dawn of Titans. I think for the first time, they have found a way to use these Titan XP relics in a way that's just not blatantly offensive to us. And let me explain. These Titan XP relics, for one, they are one of the best relics that anyone who's been in the game for a while can get before the 4-star relics are dropping. So in this early area, and the reason why I say that is because not only can you use them for XP, but you can use them for fusion. And all of the relics down here are fusion food anyway. So they actually serve a dual purpose here. 9k souls, I'm right there with you. If you have a 1.4 soul boost, 9k souls is not going to be hard to get to. Alright, now as we go through this, there is nothing impressive at the bottom with the exception of the tokens and the gems. And speaking of gems, I was pleasantly surprised that they have over 4,000 gems available in this event. This is a huge uptick from what we've seen in the last several events. And so the fact that they brought it back, I was celebrating. Not only that, but this is the first time in ever that they've given 5 tokens in an event. And while the 5th token is at 11,000 and pretty much out of reach unless you are specifically going for, the Ice Helm here or further, it's just nice to see that they're placing these milestones in areas that will keep us wanting to grind. Now, for example, let's say I was going for the 4th token. If I got to the 4th token, I would have no problems going an extra 1,500 souls to get the Ice Gauntlets because they are a great relic. And the fact that I get Hero Soul in the meanwhile is just a bonus. Once I'm at 8,000, I have no problems going to 9,000 for those 1750 gems bonus, because with the 1.4 bonus, that's basically a free grind up to there. Not to mention all the relics that you're going to be picking up. And then you have the extra bonus of the epic token being thrown in, which, let's just face it, is not all impressive in and of itself. Once you get to the gems, 1,000 gems is not much to get a great ice helm. Another 1,000 gems, or not another 1,000 souls, not much to get a frost token. Cuirass is, not impressive. You get Mataris at 15,000, and for me, once I get to 15,000, I get a 2x bonus from this guy, which brings me to these Mataris codexes. By themselves, they are not an impressive relic. That extra experience means little to nothing for me. But the fact that they are at 500 intervals between actual valuable items is a great idea. Because not only do I get that extra bonus relic and the extra experience for my Titan, but I get a 3-star fusion food. I get my divine gems at 16,000, and then my goal is to get to that Orb of Justice. That Orb of Justice is great. And so, once I'm at Mataris, it's going to be super easy to get another 2,000, and I get a bunch of bonus stuff. Once I get to 17,000, I am definitely grinding it out to 19,000, because I get more benefit from those extra 2,500 gems just by grinding it out. And once I'm at 19,000, I'll have to decide what I'm going to do, because I've already got into Talus, so he's either going to be fusion food or he's just going to be another project that's going to be 6 months before I get to him. So, it's a nice little bonus, but it's nothing game-breaking for me. Moving on, I get to this Banner of Frost. And to be honest with you guys, based upon my last video, you guys will know that armor, I believe armor's taken a huge nerf. And when you're buffing just 30% armor to, a troop, that last skill, in my mind, isn't a bad skill. And by no means is it as bad as the Frozen Runes grant you 3 spells. But it's just not a relic that entices me. The only thing past this 2,500 gems that entices me at all is the 250 divine gems. Everything else is forge food. Game Rescue says, long tidbit, I did the Titan Arena 7, Titan Monument 5, and 2 regular battles with Codex available, and it makes Mataris just a hair over level 20. Wow! That is amazing, Vintage. I didn't even know that. It's not bad at all. So, if you guys are planning on going to the Orb, grind yourself out the extra 100 battles, because by that time you're going to have Mataris, to get the 2,500 gems. It is a net gem gain if you do that. After 19,000, it's really up to you on how far you go. But no, the reason why these relics that grant spells are not all they're cracked up to be is, 1, they're garbage on defense, and 2, you're already coming into battle with 6 spells. How long do you think you're really going to be playing the game if each battle is going to take 5 minutes? Because there's no way you're going to be able to grind through an event like this. And that's the only time that those spells are really going to be made worthwhile for you. Especially freezing spells. If you have to freeze a unit 6 times, then you just don't have the good enough relics to kill the unit in the first place. So, skip the raid, save yourself time. But overall, I believe that the developers did a great job in the balancing department in this event. Because each of the major milestones, there is something else higher to entice you to grind a little further. There's not a 4,000 point gap. And even when there is a little bit of gap between the big ticket items, you have small ticket items between that give you a small boost in some way, and then for the first time, some of you might actually be able to forge a 4-star relic to increase your forging chances. So I'm inclined to believe that these little increments are a great way to use these experience tombs, because they don't detract from the overall goal of the thing, and they add a little bit of bonus, keeping you focused on the goal in the. And it's even better if you happen to have one of the bonus titans, because the bonus titans just make this event go by so much quicker. But that is my 2 cents. Once again, if you have no need of those relics up top, feel free to get to 2,000, maybe 3,000 souls, and call it a day. At that point, you've got the best things from this. If you're in need of these like 3-star versions of the relics, then feel free to get them. But as far as I see it, the hardest grind for free to play, it's funny, is actually between 3,500 and 6,000, because that's where you're going to be getting the least amount of bonuses from. Everything else, they spaced it out pretty well. And while it would have been nice to have another 4-star relic in this event, for the most part, the timing is great. And if they keep having events like this, I could see myself being convinced to do more. Alright, but that is my 2 cents. 3K, Josh, I think that's a great goal. I'm actually going to plan on going at least to 19K. And if I feel like it, I'll go further, but this is not a token using event for me. I am in need of, and I probably would not even have gone for that if I did not have a need for these 4-star relics, Ice Gauntlets and Ice Helm. And if I'm going there, I might as well push to get to the Orb of Justice, and if I got to the Orb of Justice, I might as well push to get to 19,000, which is just a net gain in gems. Alright, but that is my 2 cents on this event. I hope you guys enjoy this one, because I do think if they continue dropping events like this with milestones and usable items in between, we're all going to benefit from it. Alright, with that said, we are going to go ahead and jump into some reading. Let's see. Sweet, man. Thank you, Clint. Alright, for those of you who are interested, let me put in my Discord, and I realized I haven't had my music playing this whole time, because I actually have company in Discord with me at the moment. Like, give me a moment, I'm going to set it up. Cage, why don't you go say hi to everybody?
Hey, String. I've just been sitting there chilling and listening. I didn't want to interrupt Shooter's enthusiasm for the event.
Well, I could see how it's easily passed on. I just thought the overall event setup is a nice refresher.
Oh, it is. It's awesome.
Tell me your thoughts on it, Cage. I mean, you had a chance to glance it over. What do you think are the things that... I mean, first of all, how far are you planning to go? And is this event something that is enticing to you at all?
No, yeah, I want the Orb of Justice. I'm Castle 17 at the moment, so I'm still in that building farming phase, and I run Panthers. Grenadiers always do the most damage. I want some fire resist. So I just want it for the resists really at the moment, and I haven't got any orbs, so it'll be the first one in my collection, so I'm going to gun for it.
Yeah, alright. So the orb is your ultimate goal in this, correct?
Yeah, it's then a case of, if I, at 15k, I get the big boy, do I then grind out, because I don't have Etalus either, so it's, do I go for the orb, or do I push a bit further? Depends what my time's like.
If you're going for the orb, you might as well go for Etalus, because you have the gems to get you all the way there, because those gems are enough gems if you just grind it to get from the orb all the way to Etalus with the 2.0 boost.
Mm. Yeah, it's a bit slow for me because I've got to use Snowgall, so I'm only getting a 1.2 boost.
Oh, wow. That is going to be brutal.
Yeah, it was really annoying. I spent about 6k gems on the Temple of Trials of the War event earlier in the week, hoping to get a 4-star Titan, because we figured a nice event was coming, but nada.
Oh, wow. Well, I got to tell you, they did limit, and I don't think there's an issue with limiting who gets the boost.
No, to be honest, I'm not. I was glad Snowgore counted as an Lethean Titan to give me a 1.2 at least. That was a nice surprise. I didn't even think I was going to get that at one point. I was going to have to use one of my 2-star infiltrators, which I used early game. That was like level 33. He was going to be my Titan for 1.1 boost, but thankfully, every little helps.
That it does.
But I will say, when I only came back to the game in the first 4 event, I played like a year before that at Castle 9. So at first it was like, oh, it's only a 1.1 boost compared to like a 1 boost. I wasn't that fussed by it, but actually, something like that doesn't sound much. When you say it's 10% extra souls or 10% less souls you've got to actually grind out, even that 1.1 boost is a bonus.
Oh, it's a huge bonus. Because in a battle, in something like this, it's like, I think it's more than 100 less battles with a 1.1 bonus.
Yeah, so I've been trying to do your method of 1 relic per 1,000 souls. This morning I've spent a couple more relics just because the event goes on to Monday and Tuesday in the UK. I've got to go back to work, simply put. So it's just a case of I need to try and get a lot of grinding done Saturday and Sunday for me, as it's Saturday morning in the UK. So I think I'm about 2,500 souls at the moment.
Fair enough. All right, cool. Clint asked a question here. How do you get the boost? Well, the boost is given, you can see right here in the Alliance Cold Stare part, by certain Titans. If you have certain Titans, you're going to get a boost based upon that Titan. But Taurus, the actual paladin that's offered here, gives a 2 times boost. So rather than getting 10 souls, you'll get 20 souls for every attack. The Titans Theros, Krothos, and Avalos give a 1.4 boost, and any other 4-star Eleuthian Titan gives a 1.2 boost. If you just happen to have 3-star Eleuthian Titans, you get a 1.1 boost, as you can read right up here. So you read the details of these events, and you will find out how to maximize your each and every attack if you have the right Titans.
I will say it's not just 3-star Eleuthian. You can use a 1-star, you can use a 2-star if you have to start a game to get that 1.1 boost.
It's true. Now, because this is my stream, every stream I do that I have relics stored up, I am going to try to get a relic from 1 to 10 using my method. So, last time on stream we got the Head of Mimir leveled up, which means our next goal today is to finish off the resist to melee for Spearmen and try to get the Wild Arrows forged up. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to forge 6 times, and if I don't get a success, I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow. But if I do, I go all in with the expectation that we're going to get this thing to level 10 tonight, and we're all going to benefit from this. Me more than you guys, because I'll have the relic leveled up. Oh, there we go. We got our success, guys. We are going all the way tonight. Yeah, even a 1 or 2-star Eleuthian Titan will do. So grind yourself to, what is that? That 2-star at 250 souls, Clint, and you'll automatically be getting the boost. It was the second try, Game Rescue, but I appreciate it. Now, according to my method, I can expect, on average, to use 400 to 450 relics, 1 and 2 stars, to level this up all the way. Now, I've come close on many times to going over that amount, and one time I did, but other times I've gone far beneath. So we'll see what happens today.
Do you ever think we'll see the Wild Arrows again? Because I know they haven't come around for Yonks, have they?
Yeah, I mean, these were ones I many times considered forging away early in the game. Because 1, you had to repair relics, and 2, They just weren't good compared to other relics. None of us knew how these interactions worked. I just got lucky enough to where I saved it.
Yeah, because I was playing the game way back when we had the old relic repair stuff, and that's when I put it down. So I came back to it, like I said, a few months back in the first 4 event, and enjoying it immensely.
That's right. Those of you who were around back in the old days understand it. Well, if you're at 140 now, you've got, what is that, 11 battles to go, Clint, and then you're going to get a 1.1 boost. Alright. Now, because I did forge a relic so recently, you will find that I have a lot of 1 stars saved up. So I'm counting on my 1 stars to go the distance. And if for some reason, I cannot get this forged up all the way 10 with the relics in my current inventory and stored up, then I will be raiding tonight until I get enough relics to get there. Hey, you're always always come by this channel, man. We're always going to be around to help. Alright. Now, after this event, Cage, where do you think the next event's going to take us? Are we going to get another ice event? Let's start by speculating the type of event that's coming next.
I think, because Nigel Roberts, he's seen streaming a lot, I work with him, so he's been playing the game all the time, and he's bitterly complaining that there hasn't been many Earth events for ages, so he's predicting we'll see some more Earth events, which sounds reasonable to me. I would really like a physical event, because I got a Siegfried, and I got a perfect Siegfried, so it's like I need some physical relics, so I really want a physical event. I'm just glad they mixed it up from Fire. So, this week it's been, there is hope. We're going to get a selection of Theatres of War, and I agree with every other YouTuber pretty much. They're great events to take part in. So it's just like, yep, happy. But yeah, Earth, I think is a prediction. Physical is what I want though.
Well, you know what? Earth is, it looks like Earth is the consensus in chat as well. So if I revisit this when the next event comes out and we don't have an Earth event, I'm going to laugh at all of you.
All right, then what's your take? What's your guess on it then?
You know what? I honestly think that we are not done with the lightning events. Odin was a big success, and we still need to have another event where we are looking at Odin or Valkyrie, and the fact that they released the image for the new Lightning Troops building lets me think that we got another one on the horizon soon as a way to promote the release of that area.
Yeah, I agree. When they release the Storm Maidens, whatever they're going to be called, yeah, we're going to see another Lightning event drop. Now Vintage on his Deconstruct I watched last night, he's saying that, hey, they might turn up a lot quicker than he expected. So what's your take on that? Are you expecting them sort of June, July, you thinking now, or?
I think when they release, there will be a new Titan along with them that maybe has Odin at a 18K mark with that new Titan at a 24K mark.
All right.
So they'll cheapen Odin a little bit, or maybe put him at 12K or something like that, and then put something a little bit higher up. All right.
What do you reckon? Lightning Paladin maybe? Because we haven't seen that yet. Or
you know what? I'm hoping it'll be like a Heimdall, a Lightning Paladin, but it can't be like next week because they just released the Paladin this week, so it'll be, I don't know. And this level 3 is deceivingly hard. There's always 1 or 2 levels that are hard right here.
Must admit, for my fortune at the moment, I've got in the habit of just trying to open sort of the second tier to see if the Avalanche is going to be a Titan buff or it's going to be a troop buff. Because I've got 3 4-star Avalanches, but it's like, right, do any of these buff troops? And nada. and they're all Titan button ones.
Good gravy, guys. All right, we're gonna get it's bound to happen now. We're bound to get a success on this one right here. I'm calling it now. Oh, it worked.
Positive mental attitude.
All right, what is the way to tell, Vintage? You got me dying to know now. You know what? I'm thinking that the next event. Okay, Vintage is coming in. He's got some explanations to give us.
I hope you don't mind me joining in.
Oh, not at all, man. Pisces, you're always welcome. You are the East Coaster that doesn't know when to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
why you
true.
fit in great over here.
Just waiting for Vintage. Clint's asking about should he forge his 1-star into 2-star Titans.
Oh, okay. I would say the answer is no. Save all your Titans for your fusing Titans for 4-star Titans, if possible. If you're at a max inventory, then fuse it into 3 stars. Unless you guys have any different opinions on that.
No, it's pretty much the game is about do an event or two, try and get a 4-star. Like I've only got 4 or 5 4-stars, so pick a play around early in the game, work out what sort of Titan you like to play with, find an event that's going to give it to you, commit to that event, and then you've got 4-star you can work on. We get a fusion event like once every month, every 4 weeks. We just had one last week. But they're really good because they give you more XP when you fuse in. They give you 50% more. So save up all your Titans for those, and then throw everything into the 4-star if you can. Just have a lot of food prepared.
Yeah, but the one fusion event where I got my Yakka from 1952 was the best fusion event because they actually gave you half off on the price of upgrade fusing. So that was the best one.
What is the deal with this tonight? This is 3 times that it says unable to fuse. Dawn of Titans commented on my videos and they're nerfing my fusing method.
Be warned, when it says unable to fuse, it actually still takes your food. I learned that the hard way when I was just about to possibly get another success, and I was running out of food. All of a sudden it says failed to, forge. All of a sudden I lost all my food.
Well, we're going to turn the tables over to Vintage because he has something important to share here, and I'm interested to hear what he has to say. But the last thing I'm going to say is, Frank, if you seriously do that, I am going to be laughing the rest of the night. That is awesome. Fuse all 1-stars into one another. All right, Vintage. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, so what are the odds you have a 4-star avalanche that's level 1?
Oh, I've got several of those 4-star level 1 avalanches.
Okay, if you want, we can do a little exercise here. Any Elephant Titan can equip a level 1 4-star avalanche. Or go into your window.
I will. As soon as I get my next success, we will absolutely do that. But when I'm in the zone, I am not letting these wild arrows go without getting another level.
So, man on a mission.
Everyone on the call, everyone in chat, this is actually really important to know. Yuki, who runs DOT Database, taught me what you can do. I'll just tell you, and then we can do it visually with one of your Titans.
Sounds good.
Like you're going to forge your avalanche. You queue up the relics, box flashes as though it's going to unlock, Titan only.
So yeah, as far as I know, and just to reiterate that, it's when you go to forge the relic, if the second slot lights up, it is a Titan only relic. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. So if you forge and the second slot doesn't light up, that means it's going to be, the last two slots are going to be for Imperials.
Now, does it have to be equipped to your Titan to be able to see that, or can you just forge it normally in Node?
I only tried it with Titan only. I haven't tried it just from the straight little forging tab, you know, where you can pull up any relic. I've always done it from my Titan. It doesn't matter. I don't think it does.
I don't want to believe it, guys, but this might be the first time on stream that it takes more than 400 to 450 relics. This is being brutal to me tonight, but I'm going to stick to it. Otherwise, I'm not worth my medal.
Right, so hopefully I'm not your cooler, because we all know what I think about forging. So I'm going to jump off the call, and I'm going to see if your luck turns better.
No, it was bad before you got on. You're welcome to stay. We're going to get this level, and then we're going to go, and I want you on the call to make sure I'm doing the whole visual right to see. All right. Since I called last time that I had a success, I'm going to call it now. This one is going to be my next success.
I actually had a really good forging day today.
Dang it, I lied. All right, so what'd you get forged today?
I got the Calvarax relics to where I get 3 spells each.
And how many levels did you get on your relics today?
Something like 6 or 7. Because what I did was I took the Ancestral Heart. It unlocked the 3rd spell at 7. Then I went to the Blood Vial. And, man, I had to take that thing all the way to 9 before the 3rd spell came.
Wow.
Damn.
Now, I guess I could technically get on the Calvarax hype train, but I just don't like meta stuff. But just seeing how easy Calvarax is to play now, I am so tempted to do it. But I am...
Yeah, I'm going to put out a video. I'm going to call it Oddly Effective. I got some very interesting plans for these relics.
Okay, we got our success. I'm going to load back up on relics, and then we're going to test out the method.
What people forget is that the Calvarax relics, I know, and it's our fault because that's what we always call them, just for Calvarax. And do physical damage. That people understand that. So think about Bow of Kings, for instance. Things that add physical damage. Yeah, it does your archers and your Titan and the other stuff, but then you can bring this whole other physical army to the battle.
That's very true. So you have the ice damage and the physical damage from Calvarax and the troops.
Titan, right? I mean, you can use Odin with nasty archers with a skeleton meat shield, right?
All right. Let's see, how many relics do I have now? 466. Okay. That's all right. I'm not giving up yet, Yoon. We're gonna get this. I'm convinced that my next few levels are going to be the easiest ones I have. All right, so I have 3 3-star avalanches here. Let me go ahead and equip it to a Titan. Yeah, they're all 3 4-star avalanches, I should say. Let's see, I've got this there. So now let's go back here. We're going to equip this relic. Now we're going to bring it up, go to Forge. And the second slot is blinking. So
That's Titan only.
Titan only. Now let's go back to relics. We're going to go to my next 1-star avalanche. Titan only.
These are from Theaters of War.
No. Oh, one of them was. All right, so Titan only. I got 3 Titan onlys. One of them came from the event. Now,
it also works on volcano veins and other things too.
well, let's test this out, because these relics right here always have a second and third ability that buff troops, I believe. Look at that,
Well, no,
guys.
As far as I know, it only applies avalanche, volcano vein, Great Plague.
Well, then we are going to have to get down and dirty and get over to my next set of relics that like that.
Here, if you just like bring up a 4-star volcano vein, if you have one.
Well, I've got giant axes, volcano veins, I've got all that, but I got a bunch of Great Plagues, level 1.
Okay, yeah, Great Plague.
All right.
It works there too.
Titan only. Here we go. Dadgummit. Alright, so actually alright. Oh, I have to equip it. That's the wrong. Alright, so I'm going to equip it to make sure I can get to it easier. You know, this will it work on the giant axes as well?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Giant X is, there is a Titan on the tree version.
Alright.
I think there's a few of them according to the database, because it buffs spearmen,
I
archers,
just-
or militia. You got one for each, don't you? Not that I've ever seen them.
Alright, it looks like I passed them somehow. Look at my orbs, guys. I only have one orb that's not level 10, because those things are flipping amazing. Alright. Gilded Arcs.
Giant X is a physical.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, I can't sort it by physical, though.
No, because you're trying to equip it to a Titan, you just cannot see things you cannot equip.
Oh,
Giant axe.
that's because I'm an idiot. Okay, so as long as we are there, you know what? Let
We're
me.
about 5 seconds behind you. The live stream versus us talking is about 5 seconds of lag.
Okay, I probably should decrease the value in my next video, like the video. Is my video coming out as like pretty clear, or?
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah, it's very fun.
All right, so let me go ahead and get back to my Bitter Dirks I had equipped, and now I'll just go to the relic versions
Let
of
me
this.
describe it to Clinton Roy here, or Clint Roy, sorry. So what we're looking at is there's a certain set of relics, like avalanches, volcano veins, giant axes, where you have the versions of the relics, and then there's a Titan with the last 2 slots for the troops. So there's 2 types.
You know what? Here we go.
Usually you're having to level these things to find out what they are. What you can do is you can act like you're going to forge it. Second slot flashes, that means it's Titan only. Vast majority of these types of relics, they are Titan only. And I remember way back in the day when a Talus came out, I was struggling so hard to get an Imperial's Avalanche.
All right, so we're gonna see if any of my giant axes have the chance. Nope, this is Titan only. So we're gonna go back to relics. Why am I having an issue with this? All right, so go back to giant axes. I'll take that one from Ulrich since it's level 1 anyway. Forge it. Titan only.
Yeah.
And that's how I think most of these are going to end up, because
They are. It varies 75%, 80%. It is a large percentage of our Titan. If you get the Titan one through.
Well, we are going to find one, because now I am dedicated to this method. And while I've heard it before, I've never actually just equipped it to the Titan and sought out the example.
Equipping it to the Titan, I'm not positive that's part of it. Do it from the...
It does make it easier to sort through them, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so giant axes, not so much. We are going to go with my Yaldarg right now to see if my Earth Fists, I've got any of those that are going to be worthwhile. And I know I leveled up one of them that was Titan only. And goodness gracious, there we go.
I have never had a Mountain Fist that had Goliath damage.
Oh, we are going to witness it tonight. Not on that one, though. All right. This is going to be the one. Just kidding. No, it should work on 3 stars, too. As far as I understand. Okay, maybe not the Mountain Fist. That was wrong. I jumped the gun on that one. But I am certain that my Calcor will find...
I have a Volcano Vein that has Grenadier's damage. I love that thing.
Very nice.
Problem with Volcano Veins is that they start with V. And I can't go right to them. Alright.
I favorited like one relic about every 3 or 4 letters, and that helps me kind of get into the vicinity.
There you go. Nope, I'm going home sad with that relic. Let's go to the next one. Alright. This is going to be the one, guys. Just kidding. Alright. Forge. And going home sad here too. Alright, so I've done ice, I've done fire, I haven't done poison all the way, so... Now, I happen to have a level 10 version of the Troop Great Plague already. So, I'm going to just highlight that one, and then... I don't even need to highlight it, I can just forge on this one.
That is a tasty relic right there.
It is absolutely great. Okay, so that one is no good. Only problem is I don't have any good 4-star Poison Titans to utilize it. Oh, crud. Alright. So I've got 2...
Infiltrators. Get you a...
That's true. Alright. So that's those 3. That's 4.
God, man. I'm playing cooler right here.
5.
Big plays, dude.
Alright, and my last one is actually a Titan buffing one that I did level up. I used it on my... It's currently equipped to my Venom Tusk. Alright, so... We're running out of elements here, but we're going to find one. We got... Let's see. Lightning doesn't really have any relics out there like that yet, so... Volcano Vein...
I can't say for sure if it also works for 3 stars. When I was talking with you, we were talking about 4 stars.
I believe it does. I mean, I would think it would work, but I guess I can't tell myself. Yeah, I think I did all the relic. I think I've done all the elements already. So I'm just not lucky enough to check it out. But I can confirm that does work. That's actually how I got my current one in poison. That's how I was able to identify it. And if you guys want to know what the drop rate of those unique troop ones, yes, they do drop from regular battles, but as you can see, you're going to get 20, 30 other 4-star relics that are going to deceive you, making you think that you can have hope that they're going to work.
If you're talking battle drops, it's literally probably 1 in 10,000 battles. No joke.
Wow. Well, then I feel very special that I got what I did.
From band.
In the lottery.
That's right. Okay, so now that I got that, time to get back to Fortune.
Back to the grind.
Yeah, the real grind is the forging, that's for sure.
Mark and chat, but I'm going to go ahead and drop off Discord, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Alright. Okay, so Swam asks, does this 36% resist of 5-star relic, can it be added to the 50% usual relic resistance? Yes, that 36% resistance to all damage, if that's what you're referring to on the 5-star Guardian relic, it will stack with any other resist that you have. I can confirm that. Now, because I am incredibly excited to get this Wild Arrows to level 10, we are going to do it tonight, even if it means that we dive deep and even all the way to the end of my 3-star relics. And I have those things stacked for days. So you guys, I know the last 30 minutes have been some amazing views of my relic inventory, and I know that's exactly why you joined this stream, because everyone wants to see endless scrolling of relic inventory. So when we come to the end of this, I just want to apologize those that are in this stream dying for that.
Dawn of Relics.
Oh, all right, I got another. There we go. I'm getting there now, guys. Getting there. We're going to get another level here in the next 2 off of these 1-stars. Those divine gems, they're no joke, I'll tell you that. I love my 5-star relics. I got the final one of them leveled up almost entirely on stream. The Guardian one. The problem with those is you normally run out of food before you run out of relics.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was not planning on doing this event at all this weekend. I was just going to say, yeah, this is going to be just me another Titan. And then they re-released those relics. And then the real icing on the top for me was that orb. Now, I haven't done my video on orbs yet, but needless to say, an orb by itself isn't something that is game-breaking. Where they come into real handy is when you use them in combination with one another, to where you can just completely circumvent bad resistances and level up your resistances all the way.
I will say, I think the orbs are going to be more important the more theatres of war we have, because those big battles are singular element. If you can get that fire resist for the fire theatres up high, even as a lower level player, you've got a much better chance of actually hitting those higher level arenas, because like so many have said, the top 2 arenas are a massive jump in power, and without the resistance skills, it's very difficult to hit them.
That's very true.
But ice was easy this time, at least for me.
Ice is a lot easier because, sorry to say, Grenadiers just hurt a lot more than Imperials.
Yeah.
That, and you also gotta, depending on your Titan, you gotta walk to them. It gives them time to keep firing. Yeah, I only had 56% resist dice, and I crushed 3 to 7 easily.
All right, so far, after I'm done forging my 2 stars, I'm going to check to see the number of relics I have. There we go, got another success.
Nice.
All right, so we're done with the 2 stars, but let me show you guys. Right now I'm sitting at 410 relics. I had about 120, 130 relics in my stored inventory treasury. So I had used all 120 plus another 90. So I've used 210 relics, and I've gotten the easiest of the levels, but I believe I'm on level 6 now, so I've gotten 5 levels off of this. So not too bad. Now, because I'm crazy, I'm just going to use these on earlier levels than I technically should. So we're just going to go all the way right now. So 210 1 and 2 star relics. Normally, I don't think I would have made the 400 to 450 1 and 2 for 1 and 2 stars. So I'm just going to tap into my 3 stars.
So what did you think of this event?
Overall?
Yeah.
I think it's a well-balanced event. That, the developers did well putting together. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone should do it, to be honest with you. It'll be a pass for most people. But if they continue to make events like this with so many rewards, I could see this working very well for the developers in the future. What are your thoughts on it?
The only thing I dislike is once you reach 3,500 souls, all of a sudden, huge jump to 6,000, it only gets you a Titan, That's the only thing I dislike about it, but I think overall it's pretty good ranged. So if like a new player came in and, they decided to, put a lot of money just to finish this event, it'd be pretty rewarding.
Fair enough. Alright, don't need that frost spear. I need all of those gilded arcs, actually. Goliath belts, not so much at the moment. When I started the game, Goliaths were the ultimate units. Now they're the joke. Unless you've got a good Titan, they're just garbage.
I remember, I didn't watch the video, but I heard you saying something about how you made a whole video of you just attacking with Goliaths.
Oh yeah, that was a video to behold.
Yeah, you castle crushers. Yeah, it was a fun video to watch though.
I'm glad it was, because it was the funnest video I've ever made on this channel. I love being a shot caller for hyping up Goliaths.
I remember when I used to play with Duran, when I used to have it. One day I had so many Goliaths because, I'm constantly doing dailies. And I was like, what, I feel like using these. And I just put them all in the line, and I just said, go attack. And I had my ranger just sit back while the Goliaths just walk. Take forever.
Woo, look at this, guys. 3 successes in a row.
Nice.
Power.
Do you reckon they'll buff Goliaths again? Because obviously we got a little buff last month or so, didn't we? Their speed got increased. Do you reckon we'll see they'll try and tweak them again sooner rather than later? They seem to be more keen to get the balance, to make balance changes at the moment. They seem a bit more proactive, it feels.
See, I think if they go to buff, they should do it next time they pull out an Earth event, to make people want to go for, a Goliath buffing Titans. Because, they're still, no matter what, slow. And, giving them a little bit more speed with health, you know, they're just so slow.
But you've got that problem with a lot of them elite troops, really, because the spearmen aren't particularly fast either. You know, they're both meant to be tanks, so how do you differentiate between Goliaths and spearmen? They've got the same role in battle. So,
do you remember seeing on one of the loading screens, it goes, once spearmen gain momentum, they get deadly or something. And I'm thinking, spearmen never get momentum.
Well, Swayam wants to say Guardian Grimwald with a 5-star Berserker Relic could be a nightmare for Odin. I'm with you, Swayam, but I'm going to take it a step further. That Guardian Grimwald, Guardian Grimwald. No, I'm thinking the Paladin Grimwald. Yeah, you're right. The Paladin version of Grimwald, honestly, will be, if he got 5 health spells, or 5 health abilities, would be epic. Because you'd need that relic and then a bunch of resist melee relics, and the guy would be unstoppable.
That would be insane.
Alright, here we go.
Game Rescue saying that Goliath's seen a much bigger hitbox. That's his input on the Goliath.
Guys, I'm going to say goodbye to my septic belts. I used to think that they were going to be useful, but the fact that they buff armor right now just...
What, 3 stars?
How come I have a 3-star? I'm not getting rid of any Gilded Arcs. Yeah, 3 stars. I need one more level on this Wild Arrows.
I mean, we have so many 4-star relics. 3 stars are not that important to you.
Bam! Septic belt gets there for me, guys.
Sweet.
So what level are you at now?
He's done.
I'm done with that one. So the
Nice.
reveal, guys. We're going to go ahead and do the reveal for my Siegfried. Alright. So,
how many relics was that?
it only ended up being about 260 relics. No, not even less. It was like 250 relics. I used about 44 or 3. But it was 3-star relics. So my method is entirely 1 and 2-star relics. 3-star relics are just when you get impatient, like today.
Or the big guns.
That's right. So now it is time for you guys to see this in action.
You know, I still love that video where I called the Siggy skills.
Hey, man, that was absolutely worth it. So this Gilded Arc, 3-star Gilded Arc, is going as well. So we're going to head over to Wild Arrows.
Was this your existing Siggy, or is this your new one that Pisces called?
No, this is my existing Siggy that's in the high 50s. In other words, I wouldn't be able to equip this many relics yet.
Hey, I'm just checking. You know, Ursula on Band feeds so many high-star titans into new ones.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
I wonder who will be the new the brain. You know, with getting a Titan instantly from level 1 to 60. I don't know if anybody is ever going to do that.
Well, it's definitely not going to be one of us free-to-play guys. Alright, so here is Siegfried on the land. I'm going to throw on that 1 spearman, and we are going to go check out to see if we can see the resistances. No, we can't actually see the resistances here. It doesn't give that showing, so we'll actually have to check it on this level. So here we've got the Wild Arrows. 38% Spearman resist to melee. And the Head of Mimir. 24% resist to melee for Troop and Titans. And then Earthshaker. 24% resist Troop, Titan and Troop resist to melee. So that in total is 86% resistance to melee for my Spearman.
Wow.
Right. Unfortunately, you'll notice that my spearmen are level 16, but luckily I'm starting to level them up now.
Don't worry, mines are 15.
It's alright, I got level 21 troops over here on the side. I'm currently leveling up my Goliaths. So, in that case, since I'm not actually using these things, let's see if I can't. Oh gosh, please don't. Oh my gosh, guys. This is terrible. I've got to actually go and equip the old relics I had. Gilded Arc. Alright, so because 5-star relic and orb, your troops get 44 resistance to earth, right. Yeah, no. If you're talking about not the resist to melee, resist to melee works differently than the elemental resist. But if you have resist to all damage, then you have 36% there, and then 24% resistance from the orb. You would have 60% resistance. Congratulations, Clint. That's a big step. Alright, so this head of Mimir. Pretty useless if I'm not using the I need the orb now. Alright.
You know, I'm glad a lot of people don't have Urkor or Urkon, whatever. The Guardian.
Oh man.
I'm just glad a lot of people don't have that, because if they have that, the 5-star relic and the orbs, he's gonna have 100% resist to everything. That's the last thing someone wants to go up against.
I think it depends what castle club you're at, because for people under 20, you're not trying to farm garrisons to get a lot of EP, so defense at castle level 17, for me, defense really isn't a big deal. You know, there are plenty of lands in the league that I can hit for resources if I need to. So I think it's only for the war guys at the top tier that really are looking for those specialised defences.
Well, what if they put that Titan on a land defense? You just gotta skip it then.
Yeah,
You know?
because there is so many lands on the field that I can attack. It's not.
Look, when you're
where I'm at, it's not so good.
when you're dealing with higher, what made Titans unkillable before was you couldn't get past their armor or resistances. They have fixed the problem with armor. But the resistances, you can still get past. You just need to either have a damage to Titan skill for whatever troop you're attacking with, or you just need to have a bunch of rage spells, because your units will do the damage that they need to the Titan. So, 90% resistance is not unbeatable. Yeah, it's a pain at times, but it's nothing like it was before.
Now, what Shooter's been saying in his previous videos is the resist to melee and resist to range, that has the potential to break, because it's not capped at 90%.
Yeah, they don't fall.
Which do you Shooter? Do you think that Natural Motion are going to step in and make a change so it caps at 95% at least, like the 5-star Nightbringer or Night Whisper? They'll implement that or not?
The difference between 90% and 95% is huge for damage resistance. And so, they must have known it with the release of that Gungnir and Head of Mimir, that this was something that they'd have to think about down the road. I don't tend to think that they're that stupid. So, I'm going to go ahead and say that they have something planned to get around it. And so whether it's a debuff relic to, a relic that you can get that debuffs the defending units, their resistances or something. I mean, I could see that coming into play, but honestly, I think it's bad game design with any relic that can make you immune.
Yeah. Immunities are a bad thing.
Right. I mean, it's nice if you happen to be one of the people that gets it, but game-breaking element. And you can't have game-breaking elements in your game if you expect it to survive any length of time.
Yep, agree, yeah.
But I liked theory craft. That's part of the joy I have on this game is, what are some different builds that you could do that'll be effective? And that's why, I'm a huge fan of those orbs, because the orbs, they follow a system of rules that can be beat, but they still represent a Ultron-type build that you could do. For example, let's say that I'm running Valkyrie, and I have my 5-star Guardian relic. If I throw 6 orbs on her, I can make her 90% resistance to everything, and all of my troops 72% resistance to everything. And while that's technically beatable, it's flippin' awesome to be able to do. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I like items that don't break the meta, that you can build around, that it takes time to, it's just not the all-powerful relic, but it's a relic that, when combined with others, has a unique feature to it. And while all of the orbs are still useful in their own right, I see their true power when they're combined together.
Great, we got a shooter Thanos here, huh?
That's right. Infinity Gauntlet. Except rather than having the stones, I got orbs.
Orbs are just big stones, really, anyway, so...
That's right.
Hey, Cage, I don't know if you ever heard, when the past few times, I haven't done it recently, whenever I would show up in chat, I go, "Shooter, get down!" "Shooter, everyone get down!" I was kind of hitting the lap for that.
Alright. Man, this is going to be a long grind. This Krothos isn't even one of the new ones. It is the original Krothos that came from the first event.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'll show you guys how you can tell. But it is... I've used him during course of 3 different events during the course of the last year and a half, because he's been a bonus Titan during those events.
Alright.
Alright, so when I go into the next battle, you guys will see. Alright, you can always tell one of the original Titans because they have the locked skill slots.
Oh, this is pre-fusion update.
Pre-fusion, right. And he was only released once. Pre-fusion.
Ouch. Yeah, I don't miss that either, I must admit.
I actually quit the game for 4 months because of that. Because you used to have to fuse Titans to get skills unlocked. And I had my Skolnar at that time, and I was like, okay, I have saved up 18 3-star Titans, and I am going to unlock this 4th slot. And I had, my Titan at, level 30, and this was when the cap was at level 50. By the time I fused all 18 of my 3-stars in, I was level 50, but still hadn't unlocked that slot. And I was I'm done. And I sent a message to Natural Motion saying, you know what, just to let you know I'm quitting the game now, but this is a game-breaking element that's stupid, so I'd fix it before you lose anyone else. And I got a message back that says, the last 2 slots are supposed to be almost unachievable, and only the best of the best should get them. we wish you the best of luck trying to get to that point. And I was like, I want to smack somebody.
Yeah. I will say for anybody new in the stream that if you're trying to look for guide videos on Fusion, you need to look at stuff sort of post-autumn 2017, summer 2017, because anything before that was old Fusion stuff, which isn't how the game works anymore. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, for those of you who are complaining about the state of the game now, back when it was first released, there was bugs galore that you just you could never get around. And the fact that
the one advantage of back then is you could drop it into a deadlift and get a 4-star immediately.
Yeah, I mean, there's game-breaking elements, and then, I mean, to be honest with you, the current forging method right now is just years above what the original forging method was. The original relic method was. So, the current coming update, I'm sure it'll just get better because the current one is light years ahead of what the old one was. At least that's my 2 cents. Now, because I'm grinding this, I fully anticipate getting enough relics to level up at least 2 more 4-stars.
What's next on your hit list?
Next on my hit list are my Odin relics. While my Odin's only level 19, I need to get Yggdrasil's bow as well as the Eye of the Storm leveled up. And then get him a 4-star Gilded Arc leveled up and a 3-star Gilded Arc leveled up.
I was really disappointed that Eye of the Storm isn't, you can't put it on Siggy. Because I avoided the last event. It was like, if I can't put it on Siggy, I don't have an Odin, so it's like, I'm not bothering.
Well, what if you do get an Odin in the future, and they don't bring the Ice Storm back for a long time?
It's one of those things that I play the game for now, not for future, because if I play the game for what has to happen in the future, I will have to go after every single event in case most of these things become relevant, which is just crazy land. And until I see the Lightning Troop, I wasn't that impressed with Odin. You know, he's a Siggy lacking defensive units at the moment, really, to me, it feels like. So until we see what the Lightning Troops are going to be like and how they're going to affect the meta, I'm quite happy to sit back and, let the other people do the analysis, see how he performs. Because leveling up 4-star items still takes forever.
A lot.
Yeah, I've got my Bazzi at 40, Bathasi at 43, and I've got my Siggy at 31. So I've still got a long road to go on those two.
I got my Yakka at 58 max meter, but I can't go to 59 until I unlock the next castle level.
Yeah.
Well, to back up what you're saying, Cage, you don't play for future metas, guys. While you may pick up 1 or 2 relics that you are interested later on down the road, if you have a level 1 relic that sits, or level 1 4-star relic that sits in your inventory for 6 months without use, you have wasted your time. So, work on what is currently going to help you. Don't dream of the future. And while I say that, I know I got the head of Mimir. That's the definition of dream. But that's the only dream I have there. Everything else has use now. But we had a question come up. Cooter asked, how many gems do I plan on using? Now, that is a great question. Because based upon the bonuses that I've seen, out of my storage of gems, I started out this at like 34,200. Out of my storage of gems and what this current event offers, I think I'm only going to need to use something like 8,000 gems to get to 19,000 souls. Maybe 9,000 gems. That's why I like this event, because I'm getting a lot of forge food and I'm getting relics that I'm going to be using. And for the most part, I'm doing it almost free. Or entirely free, but with saved up gems. I don't have to worry about, huge amounts of my storage losing. And if, my storage gets too low, that's the whole reason I have all those saved up event relics. So yeah, I mean, when you hear Jason Jerome's setup on, it's going to take 20,000 gems to complete this, keep in mind that when you have saved up portal stones in your inventory and you utilize your portal stones on refresh and you're using boost titans, those numbers drop. You could even save those event gems from previous events, like if you didn't do the boar event all the way through, and use them on this event, and that's like an extra 1,000 gems or so. So there's a ways to lower the cost, and so when you're completing an event, or you're just grinding out to get 2,000 souls in an event, don't use those the event gems unless you have to. Try to play it entirely without using gems or those event gems, and then save those up for upcoming events, because that'll allow you to stack.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not using any gems for this one because I was at 0 thanks to the Theater's War, which, if you remember, I said I was going to stay up till like 3 a.m. for the last battle I was going to do. I ended up getting 2 4-star ice rings, so pretty happy with that.
Well, hello Ron, welcome to the stream. As always, Swayan. Yes, I don't recharge, and while it may cost me an extra second or so, this is just me being cheap. Every time I recharge, I'm having to restart my portal stone generation. So if I don't ever recharge and I only get 20, the thing's always ticking while I'm streaming. So I get extra portal stones here and there.
You never do the recharge. Always go to the spend 60 gems for 10 portal stones. That's how I do it.
Yeah. You're only saving you're only saving an extra second or so by doing the recharge, so I'm figuring if I'm gonna burn through hours of my time doing this anyway, I'm gonna go full free to play. Eke out every little advantage you can get. Alright. Now I didn't expect this, but that little series that I started yesterday, Titan Builds, I've gotten a lot of good feedback from that. So I appreciate all you guys in the community letting me know what you thought.
Right.
When I started it, I was originally just going to say these are the relics that you need to do, but I realized that people need an explanation on why these relics are the ones that you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I overthought that. What do you guys? I mean, have you guys had a chance to look at that video as of yet?
I came in late on the stream, so I only caught a bit of it yesterday morning while I was getting ready to go to work. I think it's good. The discussion on armor and health is really useful. I think it definitely helps people newer to the game or people that don't want to actually go out and sort of search through the web to look at wikis, look at posts to actually understand how the damage mechanics work in this game, because it is important.
Well, I did go into a little bit on the previous meta, like not going all the way back, but the unkillable Titan meta, which is why I said started to come to a close with the release of higher tier event relics, but it didn't fully die off until the X skill Titans came, because no longer can you have maximum resist and a ton of armor and expect to never take damage, because there's enough armor piercing out there now to where unless you have an X armor skill, there's no way you're going to have more armor than those that are attacking you for armor piercing.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad for that change, but it is an indirect nerf to all Titans that have the original armor skills, as well as relics and things like that. Because 30 armor does nothing nowadays. And if you have that infiltrator relic, there's no one that can stack it up enough armor to equal 250%.
No.
No, I think the actual max for armor is 170. So.
No, I think I've seen paladins with at least 200 armor in the past.
Really?
Yeah, I mean those were the.
Was that before changed the meta, or before they did the updates, or no?
I didn't. You may be right. I remember seeing Titans like that, and I remember being so frustrated in Legend League at like castle level 16. I can't kill this paladin to save my life. I can't do any damage to him at all. All right.
No, I think that was the old, before the new change, because I talked to somebody in band yesterday or the day before that. Yeah, when I got my board, I talked about it. They go something like, armor's maxed at 170. So I think the 200 thing you saw was back when it was old type.
Well, Vintage has come to my rescue and says he currently has a Freya with 227 armor.
Dang.
Boom.
That type of Freya was the type that you couldn't beat back in the day. And even now, you would need the right relics without an X armor piercing skill to do any damage to her. So
You just need a star relic, that's all.
Which is why, of the X skills, I think the most meta-changing skill they released was the armor piercing one. While I don't necessarily think it's the most important one, like the most powerful one, it is the most meta-changing one because it allows newer people to have a chance to actually do damage to these ungodly Titans.
I wonder if he has that on his garrison.
No. In Legend League, Freya's like that now just get eaten alive. You can't have a one unit defense anymore because troops is where everything's at now. I mean, that Titan I could crush with my troops. While it wouldn't be a quick one because my troops are level 21.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the best defensive option out there.
So what specific Titan do you think is the best?
As for like attack, defense, what are your thoughts? Garrison defense. All right. I think this is actually a little bit up in the air right now. Mainly because before the recent patch, Metano was the defensive unit. But with the changes to the AI, the Panthers aren't as strong as they used to be. And so that's opened the door to other options. I tend to think that, Metano is still up there, still a decent choice, not the best of choices, but a decent choice. Mamesh is up there as well. I mean, best in the leagues, they don't have one Titan that defends their garrison. They rotate it to confuse people when they're in a war. Because no matter what Titan there is, it can be beaten. And I think that's the way the game is meant to be played. And so having the rotating Titans is good. Now, I tend to think that when people start using him right, Siegfried will be up there as one of the better defenders. But right now, he's normally one that people run over as well. People that know what they're doing. Like my Siegfried, he gets a lot of greens because the people that are attacking him don't know how to attack Siegfried yet. Or at least Siegfried that just buffs archers, because that's what mine does.
Yeah, but if you put on all that resist melee, do you think you'll be getting better greens from those people who do know how to hit seeds?
I will get more greens because people won't know how to play against it initially. But because I will have a weakness to ranged units still, there will be those in the upper leagues that find ways to get around it. And so having just Siegfried available for defense won't be enough. But that's the beauty of the game. Like, groundbreaking technology, it'll increase my greens, but it won't be unbeatable. Game Rescue says, when I ward, I rotated Metano, Ice Maul, Solzar, Mamesh, and Skolnar. See that? Those are good ones. Now, Skolnar is still a good in rotation, but he's got to have the right skills. Like, right now, well, a skill that was overlooked when the game first came out was resist to melee. Everyone wanted the elemental resist on their, or resist to titans. And so the melee resist on Skolnar, I think, is in high demand right now. Because if you can get 60% melee resist, or higher, then, I mean, you could make your Goliath completely resistance to melee damage, which means Panthers can no longer.
Yeah, my Nigel has his Skolnar's got double melee resist for his Goliaths, and I think he's got a single or double Titan resist as well. So at that point, he's only worrying about archers and grenadiers, really.
Yeah, and then the original Goliath relics buff against our physical, so he's taken care of there. He gets a few fire rings and things like that, but resist against fire, and then those Goliaths are just going to be brutal to attack. Still technically beatable, but they're just going to be brutal. I tend to think, though, that a Siggy with the right archer skills, I mean, I don't know of a better attacker than him. There is no other attacking unit that I have that can take out so many unpregnable defenses than him. And, you know, I've got some decent Titans, several level 60 Rangers. It's just those archers, the damage that they can put out, even at level 20, is ridiculous.
Yeah, 21 is where the huge buffs and troops come.
Vintage is waving the flag for the Siggy attack, as always.
Well, he was spouting the praises for Siggy from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who are new to the game, Siggy is terrible to level. He is just not a fun Titan to go through the leveling process with. So don't expect that. Don't expect to come in and just think, wow, I got one of the best Titans in the game, yada, yada, yada. What makes Siggy good is when you've got the relics and you've got the levels on him to buff his troops. When you have that stuff, I mean, the sky's the limit with him. But until you get there, you're just going to want to rip your eyes out because the raids are a little bit slower and you've got to do a lot of micromanaging.
Oh my god, I remember those days when my first 4-star Titan was a Koldan. I took him from 1 to 40. Every raid was so boring. I got so bored of the game, I stopped playing. And I fused my Koldan into a 3-star Ranger just to make the Ranger high enough level to actually fuse.
I think, like I said, for new guys, it's about finding a Titan playstyle that you enjoy and run with that to begin with. You know, don't worry about the meta. If you like, I like running more Berserkers. I had a Kuba, which I really like Berserkers, and I ran him up to level 44. It's great for him. Hit, go, he sprints off. Same with Infiltrators. I like that. Really aggressive Titans. They're not really part of the meta, but play what you enjoy.
I completely agree with that. When I first started the game, I was all about champions. I love the fact that I could have a guy run up and just manhandle an entire force. But I came from games like Dynasty Warriors, though, so that made sense to me.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, I need something to attack garrisons with, and Rangers just became something for me. I mean, I like the fact that I could use. I found a use for spells after for so long with champions never having to need any.
I'm in that exact phase right now. With my Yakka, maxed out, I can't max it to 60 yet. And, I need a Garrison Raider, and I just got an Analyst, so that's my fun.
And for those of you who have seen my Skolnar Castle Crushers video, that was literally like the 5th time I'd ever brought him into battle, despite him being level 60. because I cannot stand attacking with Guardians.
That or Goliath.
Yeah, well, Guardian Titans in general they don't provide any damage buffs. And while it was fun, that I could never play the game entirely with that because it would be so slow. I don't know. Okay, so Cage, you like the Infiltrators, and who is your secondary preference if you're not going to run? Oh, Berserkers then.
Berserkers.
Why
yeah,
Berserkers and
at
Infiltrators?
the moment, I'm running a Ranger just 'cause it's more efficient. But if I actually want to have some fun, I've only got a level 20 Zarkon, and I got a level 8 Sekni at the moment. The Moss Main, one of the Moss Infiltrators I picked up.
Gunga? Or...
Not Skunga, the other one. I can't pronounce the name, so like
yeah, the male poison ring infiltrator.
Yeah, so I've got those two for that, and I've got my Kuba for 3-star.
Akane, that's his name, Sakane.
Yeah. But yeah, I really want a Kamathi just for having a 4-star Berserker, but again, people are saying, the Exil Titans, the way the game is going now, just what Vintage says about power creep, that's just where the game is going. So it's like, I would love a Kamathi, but would I want to hold off if I saw on an event and see if they release more Poison X-Skill Titans? Because I know, I was hoping, we knew that the Fire event was coming the other week, and I was hoping there would be a Mamesh at the top, and I would have done the Fire event for that. I would have got the Claw and carried on to Mamesh, but obviously we didn't have anything above that, so I was kind of disappointed with that. I would like a Mamesh, but we'll see.
All right, now Malvis asked the question: can you share your views on Loki as an attacker? Now, while I Infiltrators, I'm going to go ahead and default this question to you, Cage, because it is your play style of choice.
I didn't get Loki though, so I don't feel I've got a huge leg to stand on discussing him. I think it's really good because I think the inherent speed buff, especially for doing events, having that you can move quick is great, and you can attack quick. It's why actually Odin's good as well, because he has that speed. The actual attack rate is quick. And but yeah, Loki's great. I would love to have had him, but I just came back into the game at 4, so it was a case of I wasn't spending money yet. I didn't have any tokens saved up, so I had to miss him, unfortunately.
All right, now can you share your views on Infiltrators as defenders? I'm going to let you answer this one because this should be a fun answer.
Infiltrators as a defender, I just stick them on lands. The only way you're going to make him a useful defender is just to try and stack as much health and get a couple of army resists. Just to slow the enemy up, because otherwise he's just going to get rolled over by absolutely anything.
Oh, man. Infiltrators have been the butt of jokes for too long in this game.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. Again, because I'm not in war. I'm in NT Knights. We've only got a 500 VP minimum, which is easy. We're not exactly competing hard. So apart from my garrison, my lands. To be honest, this week my lands have been ping pong lands the entire week, pretty much. So I don't care about my lands really.
Now, that is one relic I wish I would have picked up at the beginning of the game, had I known the power of them. It's the Defender. Good gravy. That's a relic that, just for the longest time, just went under radars. And they just don't release that one anymore. So thanks for bringing that up, Soyam. That's a sore spot for me.
That's for a lot of people who got rid of it, too. I remember, just re-rolling constantly just to get a 4-star Titan. Instead of getting those relics.
Instead of getting, yeah. Now, I will say I was lucky enough to before the rewards changed back in the early days that I picked up a protector. One of the actual protectors that gives protection to or resist against melee. While it is an outdated relic now, I still have it equipped to one of my paladins. You know what one I'm talking about, don't you, Cage?
Yeah.
The one that you could only get through incredibly rare battle drops or through weekly wins in, back in the day, rather than just getting Titans for your weekly rewards, you used to be able to get 4-star relics as well in Legend League.
And also Masters.
I must admit, I did like Mitch's video he did a while back on fixing the game, where he talks about the rewards for Legend League, for leagues in general. I thought that was a really good video from him about looking to mix it up and make it a bit more interesting. Because at the moment, I don't really see, from a resource getting rewards, I don't see the leagues as particularly enticing. I see if you're a competitive player and just want to be that top dog, you want to do that. I can understand more from that perspective, but not from the actual rewards.
Yeah, because, I think it was Alon or someone said he's gotten all the rewards that you can get from 4 stars. So it's not really enticing. And all those, Let's League of Gods people, they probably have, tons and tons of, 4 stars that they get from each, season. So, they do need to change it up because season rewards aren't exactly, a big thing. So that's why some people are even lower leagues, because they don't really care about what they're getting because it's not going to be good anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And, those guys, the season rewards, they don't, as the backup Cage's point, they don't get first place for the season rewards. They get first place because they want to be the dominant one. It's bragging rights at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, I don't know, I don't think as a free-to-play player that I will ever be at that point, because there's always things more important to me in this game than beating other people.
Yeah.
But I am happy to be part of Non-Toxic, which can consistently get top 3, which is actually a feat nowadays. But when the game first started, it was... in the heavily competitive Legends servers, there's no way that Non-Toxic could currently reach that level. Back when the game was popular, or more popular than it is now.
You reckon there's been a slump in player numbers?
Oh, I think it's actually been going back up recently, but we're definitely not back to original play numbers.
Yeah, because there used to be, over 2 Legend Leagues, I'm pretty sure. And now they're not even demoting some people from Legend Leagues that are in demotion zone just so they can keep the 2 servers up.
I have noticed more alliances competing in Legend servers lately though. So it is growing, but at the beginning, that was brutal. I sort of miss those days. Now, were you ever in the heavily competitive in this game, Cage?
No, not in this game. My previous mobile game, I played Clash of Clans, and I was a high town hall in that. We done war 3 times a week, but not in Duel.
Now, for those of you who have not been to Legend League, when you first arrive, it will be a mind-blowing experience because the game operates completely different there than in other leagues. Like, in lower leagues, for example, there's always some bully in that league that just says, hey, mess with me and you're going to be dead or whatnot. But that type of stuff doesn't cut it in Legend League. There's a general respect that goes around unless you're dealing with the top alliances like League of Gods, who will strip your whole alliance just for looking at them funny. And it's a different game dynamic that's actually kind of enjoyable. Getting to the point where if you can't compete with the big guys, trying to just stay just low enough to where you stay underneath their radar, but still bonus VP farm them enough to get the best VP bonuses.
Talking about stripping people, that reminds me of, it was last year sometime. I was with a team called Genesis, and we were in a league, and there's like these Chinese, Japanese people, whatever. They had like weird symbols, and they would not stop hitting our garrisons. So they at one point did a whole stripping them. So all you saw was just garrisons on them. And it was so funny because they were always red. Because every time one would go down, someone would post it and someone would go over and hit it. It was immensely hilarious because we first picked the fight and then we could keep them bubbled, the entire rest of the season. I thought that was completely funny.
And if you've never competed or joined a alliance that has ever done a planned systematic attack on another alliance, do so at least once before you quit this game, because those are actually really fun when you have someone shot calling in game saying, okay, this is the next person that we want to strip. These two guys are entirely on watching garrisons in case they unbubble. I mean, the amount of coordination that can go into this game definitely adds another element. And Drew, when you guys do make it to Legends League, you'll start to find that, but just give it a few weeks, because the first few weeks you have in there, you just have to try to adapt to what's happening in there, which goes back to my how to free to play in Legend videos, because you really do have to choose the times that you're going to upgrade your buildings. You have to time it all perfectly, or you're never going to have the resources that you need to actually upgrade. Because your garrison will be under constant fire if you're in one of those alliances that is constantly fighting.
Yeah, I must admit, NT Knights, I've done some coordinated hits, but because most of the guys are US time, I miss it usually.
Try to join in on one of those. It'll be an experience that you don't forget, and you'll walk away laughing. Even if 2 hours later you log on and your entire alliance is missing lands.
Pisces, I'm in the UK, mate. So it's sort of 7 a.m. for me. So
You're simply 5 hours ahead of me. It's 2 a.m. for me.
ooh, blimey. Mad man.
Yes, very much. I mean, I was never called sane. I was always called insane. So I don't have a problem with it. Late night is my time. The day is hideous. The nights are beautiful.
I'm an early bird.
I am an early bird, and I also stay up late. And the only reason I am staying up late is because I've got little kids that keep me up late. And I have a business I run on the side. So I sort of need time doing that. Cooter, those that leave Legend League and come down to lower leagues are people, just to help put it into perspective, 90% of those people are people that just got offended in Legend League because they couldn't cut it. And so they decide to go pick on people in lower leagues because they think they're better than them. The other 10% just want to break.
Yeah. No, I'm not an early bird. I'm a night person. I've always been a night person, but I've always getting yelled at. No, you're supposed to be going to bed at night, getting up during the day, and staying up. And I'm just staring at the person. I'm like, I'll take a nap midday.
I remember back in college, I was that way. But when I got a family, I had to start working the day shifts, and I can understand. I mean, I could never go back to just staying up all night because, my family would die of starvation.
simple when it comes down to that, really.
Yeah, it sort of comes down to those priorities. Man, alright. Now, I should be using my fireballs more often. Like right now, I'm going to drop... Oh, dang it.
I don't use spells when I'm farming, even running events.
I gotta tell you, like, fireball is the spell that I enjoy during these events because it literally can shave off several seconds worth of attack time, knocking off that one random unit on the far distance. And since I never am having issues with gold unless I have 3 or 4 builders come available at the same time.
My biggest bugbear when I'm trying to use spells actually is because the camera recenters at the start of the battle, so you can't be over where you want to drop those fireballs straight away. It bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah. I just like that. And Zalon said something about that too, how, someone asked him, if you use spells, if you had relics that gave you spells, would you think that it would increase, that would become like a new meta for speed rating? He goes, no, because, resets to the center, so you can't, be there to quickly drop the spells on the units you want to quickly kill.
Yep. Yeah, that was the night yesterday, wasn't it?
Swayam, I think what you're hearing is actually my fan in the background. I keep it pretty heavily because I'm in Phoenix, and while I have my air conditioner set low, that fan needs to be blowing if you have any chance of surviving in this 120 degree weather.
Wow. I mean, Phoenix gives a fire bird, so you can kind of understand the heat.
Drew, to be honest with you, I have never considered upgrading the warp relics until recently. Yeah, because at the beginning, using champions most of the time, and champions just didn't need troops. But now, I have warp relics on my barracks. They're just not leveled, so I get an extra minute or so reduction on Panthers.
I've got 2 claw wolves, but I don't actually have a third, which irritates the life out of me because it's unbalanced.
No, at first I was thinking you were talking about spells, and I kind of forgot there was warp for troops.
Yeah. No, I leveled them up anyway because I just used Panthers, so I had them leveled before the time changes, which was nice, and they're just better now. So.
Yeah.
Didn't they increase the time of Panthers?
They did, so the warps actually reduce you. So Panthers went from 7 minutes 30 to 10 minutes. But because I've got max level warps, my Panthers are still only 8 minutes, so I didn't lose out too much time. So I'll take what I can get.
I mean, at least Goliaths are down to 20 instead of 25.
One thing little quick change of topic. One thing I really did appreciate about these theaters of war events is the relics that they drop. While they are battle drops, some accounts have lower drop rates for certain relics than others. I have to believe that because if I look through my inventory, I'm going to see 1 million Gilded Arcs and 1 million Great Plagues, but Bitter Dirks and Frost Spears, they were incredibly hard to come by for 4-star versions. And so,
on the opposite, I've found 4-star Frost Spears and Frost Shields quite easily. I don't find much. I don't have a 4-star Gilded Arc. It's pretty frustrating.
wow.
Yeah.
Then I'll stop scrolling through my inventory. But yeah, I mean, the release of these theaters of war allows us a higher chance to pick up those relics. And
I think they're the best additional event to the game we've seen, like a regular event coming around now. I think it's fantastic.
The only 4 stars I've ever gotten from battles or claiming lands are Dragon Helms. I had, I think I have 6. 5 or 6.
Back when the original relic forging thing changed, those dragon helms during the course of the unkillable Titan meta, they were incredibly valuable, especially if you had one that wasn't resist against physical.
Now I got a max poison, a max ice, level 6 poison. Drives me nuts because I just wanted another one trying to get a different resist element, and it says poison. I was like pretty disappointed, because at the time all I needed was 1. Then I have a resist earth. I think I might have resist fire, but it's only level 1.
Malvis, if you to the point where you're consistently completing events, even if it's 1 out of every 3 or 4 events, 4-star relics are just going to be better for you. You'll eventually get to the point where you have more 4-star relics than you have the ability to forge. So those 3-star relics, don't feel too bad if you're forging them away.
Dude, I had more 4 stars than I could use up, that's for sure. I don't really raid as often as you do, so I don't get the levels up very often.
Well, I honestly think that I think I'm in the top 10 of players with most amount of 4 and 5-star relics forged to level 10. I didn't think that way at the beginning, but right now I'm closing in on 45 4 and 5-star relics leveled completely up.
I think I have 3. Bit of Dirks, painted bow, and mounted armor. Clever up with Panthers. Those will let me get.
I think I have 2, just 2 dragon homes. Otherwise, I have the Earth Sight, the Earth Breaker to level 7s. I got 2 other dragon homes to level 6. My Avalanche right now to level 5. I just couldn't get the wax levels on my freaking Earthsight and Earthbreaker. They're just so difficult.
To be honest with you, that's why I ended up saving up most of my 3-star relics. So for the longest time, I only used 1 and 2-star relics to level up relics until they got to those last few levels.
That's why you use like 40 just to get those last few levels on the wild arrow.
That was just me being lazy. Like, I should have just grinded through the stream and got the rest of the 1 and 2-star relics I needed. But I was like, I just want this now. And because I have so many, I can do that. And while I'm technically at the S's for my 3-star relics, you guys have no idea how many volcano veins I have that are 3-star.
They seem so common. It's just ridiculous the amount of volcano veins you get. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I've got at one point I had 15 of them because I was only forging 1 and 2-star relics, put them in. I was like, damn, I'm running out of space. I eventually scrolled all the way through, you start at the 4 stars, you scroll all the way to the back end of the 3 stars, it's like, oh, alright, this is where all the space is being taken up. So it's like, right, high level 4-star forging, go.
To give you guys an idea on how many volcano veins I might have, I have a 500 relic inventory, and when I got done forging my 3 stars today, and I was in S's, I still had, I believe it was about 360 relics, and I have about 110 4-star relics. So if you guys do the math, I've got over 200 relics that are starting with S and going down to Z for 3 stars.
Wait, is there a relic that starts with letter Z?
If there is, I'm sure I have it somewhere in my inventory. But yeah, you just build up the relics over time, and while there are several 4-star relics that I am ready to forge, I'm not to the point where I need to yet. And keep in mind that if I could donate relics to those in need, I would absolutely donate several 4-star Gilded Arcs to Cage.
Yeah, donate at least 1 Great Plague to me. I don't have any 4-star damage relics for my Yakko. That's sad.
Yeah, that's rough.
I would pass on Great Plagues to you galore.
I would like to see some means, I think, of transfer trading between players in the game. I think that'd be really nice. I know it would change their business model though, so it would have a huge impact. But I would like to see some means of like an auction house that you have to use your gems, but you're trading gems between players to move or something like that. Just because the guys that have been here for a long time now, they do have just so much spare junk, and you can bring players up because if you want to make the game more competitive, you want to get throne wars on the go, you need players in those higher castles, and to do saying, okay, I've got 5 Kamathis because I'm crazy, I'm going to put one in an auction house for a couple of hundred gems and people can just buy it. I don't know how it would work, but it's something I would like to see something like that because it brings the player group together more.
See, it would do that, but it could also break the game because here's my thinking of it. If they do put out some sort of way to allow people to transfer relics or even give a Titan for so gems or something, by a certain point, everybody's going to have what they want and what they need. And they're not really going to go for events, or they're not really going to, they're going to eventually get bored. So yeah. I understand why they haven't applied it yet.
Oh yeah, it would be a massive, it would change the dynamics of the event culture we currently have.
Yeah, and it would, eventually just ruin the game, and they want to keep this game going for at least another 2 years, so I think they're at least trying to consider some sort of way, but, it takes time for something, that could cause the game to completely shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Well, quick shout out to Cooter. Just got 2 4-star relics to level 10. That is amazing. And Drew, I think you might be right about, and there'd have to be some conditions or that they set up if they were to open up a trading house of that nature. But these are ideas that, we've all seen in other games that we'd like to see benefit this to maybe shore up some of the weaknesses the game currently has. I think that's the general thought process behind it, unless I'm wrong, Cage and Pisces.
Sorry, man, I just missed out the last minute to say something. Sorry, man.
That's okay, it's late. I don't care if you guys miss half of what I say, I understand. Alright.
Sometimes once in a blue moon, I don't understand what you're saying, even though I should be able to, but it's just sometimes my brain kicks off because I constantly think of so many different things at once. It drives me nuts. Slightly my reason why I'm a night person, because I have a hard time going to sleep.
Yeah, well, to give you guys an idea what I do for my day job, I'm in marketing. I'm actually work for Google selling AdWords to businesses. And so my job is to create marketing strategies to reach whatever market certain businesses want to reach. And then basically create budgets, all that type of stuff, as well as create unique ads that will reach these people. And so my thought process in this game always tends to go down that, strategical approach. If they put this much time into here, what the results are going to be at the end. So that's why in my videos I always feel the need to explain, my thoughts, because my job depends on me explaining my thoughts to multi-million-dollar business owners. Because if I can't explain my thoughts, I don't have a job.
No, man, I saw this one commercial, HELOC or something like that. It was the stupidest commercial ever. I didn't even understand what the heck they were, trying to sell. I honestly don't understand the ad at all, but it was like one of the dumbest things ever. But I remember it. That's the problem. I remember it.
Man, I could tell you guys horror stories on how much money businesses waste on advertisement because someone comes up with an idea and they don't know how to implement it right. I've seen businesses burn through like $1 million in like a 24-hour time period, and I'm just shaking my head thinking, if they would have just given me 5% of that, I could have built them something that would have worked. I don't know, it frustrates me.
Yeah, Drew, I'm Cage from NT Knights, and we have a question from Malvis, by the way, Schuster.
Oh, okay. Thank you for pointing that out. Alright, so Malvis asks, how about relics that are in succession of one another? I have an Avalanche, level 2, level 3, level 4 on one opponent's Snowgore. Is it worth it holding on to a relic? To be honest with you, 2-star relics, they're not worth your time leveling up.
The only one currently is the Giant Blade. Because if you don't have a good, damage relic, it is pretty decent. I use it on my Yakka.
I used Giant Blade back when I didn't have any good Titans. And, but I wouldn't throw any relics into forging it up. That's the thing. I may throw relics on for specific reasons, but...
For 2-star, like the Giant Blade, that one is super simple to level up, but, I wouldn't level up 2 stars normally. It's just that one specific relic. Otherwise, you want to go with 3 stars, and then if you did, go 4 stars. But since I'm on a 4-star, damage relic, I have to go with a 2-star damage relic because, I need more damage on my Yakka sometimes.
Well, yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, I could totally see that. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't have any better options, then that's fine. What I would just advise on is that even if you've gotten a 4-star relic that you don't have a Titan that can effectively use now, let's say that you're mainly running Fire Titans and you get the 4-star Frost Gauntlets from this event, I would much rather throw relics into leveling that up than a 2-star relic. And that's saying a lot because you may not use that for several months. That's my thought on 2-star relics compared to other ones. But
I have three 4-star Volcano Veins, and I have 0 Fire Titans.
Getting one of those leveled up should be a priority if you don't have any other 4-star relics that are on your priority list.
Oh, I have tons on the priorities. I haven't even leveled up a Panther relic, the Mount Armor. I haven't even leveled that up. But I'm currently leveling up, the average, because I'm using Evelus, so I kind of want to up that first. But I have so many things on my wait list, it's just, I don't raid enough to make it go quicker.
I'll show you guys my wait list right now. Because
Vintage says this game is all about raiding.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I raid so I can. I ain't gonna, constantly spend gems or anything. I have to actually save them. Because I used all my gems for the freaking Theaters of War, which I'm pretty happy with all the results with 2 Edeluses. That freaking made me ecstatic. Like 3 Ice Creams, and Frost Shield, and an Avalanche, which is buffing, which kind of helps, but kind of doesn't. It's not like my first choice of what I want, but, it's pretty good in the long run, I guess.
Alright, guys, I am collecting the 100 gems right now. Or at least it was supposed to. I think when I am done raiding with these 100 gems, I will call it a stream. So we are on a countdown now, because it's 11:30 my time. But it's probably still going to be another hour before I get through these things.
It's 2:30 for me.
Well, we'll see if I can outlast you, Pisces.
You want to bet?
Yeah, no. Cage, I think, could beat us all if he had the time. But I know it's still morning for him.
here's the thing. I slept from 6 a.m. to 11, and then I got rudely woken, and I fell asleep at 12 to 3, so I kind of am good for a while. And it's going to sound weird, but I'm literally staring at a spider for like the past, I don't know, half hour we've been talking.
Yeah. So in other words, he hasn't actually been watching your stream shooter, he's just been talking to you.
I gotta ask, Pisces, do you have like a pile of pills in front of you?
No, I actually don't take any.
Are those spiders real?
Oh, the spider's real. It's just sitting there. I've been debating over the last half hour if I want to kill it or if I want to catch it.
No, for me, I have one heavy medication that I take on occasion. That's for migraine headaches. And when I take that stuff, I couldn't add 2 and 2. It just, my brain stops functioning.
Yeah, well, your brain generally stops functioning in migraines.
Alright, so Drew says, my current build for Krosos is Frost Shield, Spear, Flame Volley, Ice Helm. Should the last relic slot be an Ice Gauntlet or Orb of Justice? You know what? I like the idea of Orb of Justice just because when you come across defenses, you need your or the Imperials to be able to take a shot or two from Grenadiers and Archers before they get mowed down.
Wait, does the last thing of Orb of Justice give resist fire?
Yeah,
it's resist fire and physical, so it protects you from ranged troops. I've got to run, guys, so thanks for having me on the stream shooter, and catch you guys later.
Hey, you're always welcome to come back, man. Take care, and thanks for joining us.
Bye.
And then there were 2 Pisces. Game on.
Well, you said oh, now there's 2. I was still staring at the spider.
Well, in my mind, I've already won the competition. Oh, man.
I think it has 4 eyes. It's so tiny it's hard to tell.
I'm going to have to get on the rest of the YouTubers because I'm actually a little bit disappointed in them because we don't have much content coming out nowadays. With the exception of Game Rescue and Zalan's traditional streams, we're not seeing much of anybody.
Yeah, well, I used to...
Thanks, Nigel. I believe that too. But go ahead, Pisces.
What did he say?
He says Cage was always the lightweight.
No, you can understand why I wasn't putting stuff out. I lost my phone. Well, wasn't lost, but just taken. But that's kind of reasonable. I'm not going to explain the reasons why, but just understand it's quite reasonable I lost it. That's the reason why I wasn't able to produce anything for a while. And then, now that I am, I don't know, I'm not really producing that much, but I try to do. It's kind of hard to do it on the off times, when there's not much to go on.
It's true. Oh, I need to remind those of you who have been with me for a while, there's a stream a while ago. I think it was the original Valkyrie stream that this conversation descended into madness by the end of the stream because it was so late at night. And we got to the point where you guys were recommending anime for me to watch. And I finally got around to watching all of Death Note. And thank you for that. That is a great series.
I remember that stream. Oh my god, I remember that. It wasn't that long ago, though.
Yeah, well, and it was like 4 months ago. Something like that.
Oh.
Or not 4 months. I don't know how. Maybe 2 or 3 months. It was near the beginning when I started streaming.
It was at most 2.
Well, yes, I do follow Nigel. I do follow Ron Gamer. And District 13, I don't know if I follow him as of yet. I'll have to go check Ron's stream for any new content. but I guess I haven't seen him go live lately. If you're in here, Ron, yes, I'm talking about you.
Well, he just got back from his vacation, so he has been doing stuff. But I was in for the first stream where it was completely awful, and then he had to reset, all his stuff. And I wasn't able to catch the second one because I didn't teach it till like an hour after it ended. So I was like, are you kidding me? But I was able to catch his next live stream. Not for long though, I had stuff to do.
Well, for all of you who are not YouTubers that are interested in the concept, by all means, come talk to one of us. If you have content that you think would be interesting, that you don't want to make, obviously you can pass it along to us, but if you would like to make, our community's more than helpful enough to help you get started, because it's really not that hard to do. The only thing that takes a little bit of time is if your content requires some thought. And, that's actually pretty fun to do, just planning out what you're going to say. And for example, like my video yesterday, I probably spent a good 20 minutes putting together my thoughts on how best to utilize builds to get around metas and damage. Just because...
Yeah, so things like that are going to be informational, I can understand that. But for the most part, if you're just doing like a normal live stream, you don't really do that, do you?
Ron, then if I'm awake, you can guarantee I will be on that stream.
Ooh, what is it? When is it?
Well, he says he'll go live tonight. Cooter, if you have a ton of ideas, then I expect that you start a stream of your own, because we need you.
So
I'm sending a call out to all those who are wannabe YouTubers that want to learn.
Join band, post the videos in band, the public chat. I guarantee you I'll watch them. I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone can find a niche. Let's see. You guys know what my niche is. That doesn't mean other people can't come in on that niche. I'm totally fine with that. And while I am probably the least popular YouTuber out of the group, because we're talking about the likes of like Zalan and Game Rescue and these guys who have 2, 3, 10 times as many subscribers as I do.
You have more than I do, I think.
Well, that's because
I'm just popular for my raids or my constant yak abuse.
Hey, you know what? You have made it to where everyone cares about where that Titan is now.
But it's stuck. I have 30 some upgrades to do before I want to upgrade my castle. And those are just buildings. The troops and spells will come with it eventually, but I got 30 some to do. I have 17 of just golden upgrades that I have to do.
Cooter, get on Discord, like, in the next few days when I'm doing a stream. We will cover on Discord exactly how to get yourself to go live. Because it really isn't that hard. I can walk you through the process. It'll probably take you about 15 minutes to set up. And then from then on, it will be a simple press of a button. And you will be live on YouTube.
Shooter, do you use Omelet?
Yep, I use Omelet. A inferior service, but it's still good.
I use YouTube Gaming.
I'd probably cut back on a lot of my lag if I were to use that, to be honest with you.
It depends. Honestly, once in a while, if your internet's not the best, then it goes in and out. But for the most part, it works pretty well for me, at least. I'm still staring at that spider.
Yeah. Is it growing larger fangs as we're speaking?
No.
Is your head spinning?
Turning.
Then, last but not least, do you have a small white powder pile in front of you?
Why would I have that?
because I'm really tired right now and none of my comments make sense.
No, I'm in my garage so I don't wake up my family while I'm talking.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and my dad has an old farm tractor. He uses it to mow. It mows much quicker than the tiny little things. And then the spider's literally just sitting on the tire. So I'm just staring at it. No, I don't know if you remember Owen's Lawn or Bow streams where, whenever they got to like 2.5 to 3 hours, somebody will just start talking about food, either in chat or in Discord, and everybody will just start up. And then, like, I forget who it was. There's somebody on one of the streams that he would not stop talking about food. And it was like, man, we want something else besides you chatting off about food. But, his suggestions are pretty good, but I have no idea what he's talking about because I don't live where he does. I think he lived somewhere near Bow or something like that.
Oh, I'm only at 3,500. This is going to be a long event.
No, wait, 3,500. Yeah. 3,500, right?
Yeah. 3,500 souls.
You're farther than me. I'm just doing what I can, from the 2 tokens I got and just whatever portal stones I get. I have yet to use the 150 yet. I'm waiting to use that until like the end. To see if I actually want to use them or if I want to save them.
I come to think of it, I think I didn't use my 1-star Frost Core that I got from Theaters of War. Went during my forging a little earlier, but I might have to check. Maybe I shouldn't check, because if I used it, I'm going to be mad with myself.
If you didn't, you're going to be mad?
No, if I'd forged it in, I'll be mad with myself.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. But, you can tell because when you go to forge something that's a relic, when you see it in that 4 square area, it's going to, have red letters or number or whatever. So that's usually how I tell, if, speed click. I think this has 6 legs. I think one's missing on the other side.
You know what, Ron? I appreciate the comment. But I'm actually now incredibly fascinated with the one person that always dislikes my videos. I never understand why, but it's always there. It's like death and taxes. I can always make sure that one dislike's going to be there.
I remember going back one day all the way to my first video ever, and I had 3 dislikes, and I was like, wow, somebody must have loved me.
That is triple.
And then I went to every video after that. I always had a dislike. I'm like, I don't understand how I have a dislike, Why would you dislike somebody who's just starting? But I remember being so happy with the largest views, of whatever videos. It was usually like the temple pools. Everyone loves watching the temple pools.
It's true. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction today, everyone on stream. When this channel gets to the point where there are 50,000 subscribers, we are going to make a video where the only goal of the video is to get as many dislikes as possible. We are going to show YouTube that we can be one of the most hated channels on its network.
The one live stream was one tried to sound like me, but he made me sound like a nerd, like a nerdish person, like a really shitty nerd, I immediately, as soon as he started saying one word, I was so mad at him. And then when someone said, everyone hit the lake, I instantly hit the dislike just to diss him on that part.
That's what.
I played.
Oh, I was just.
Played it off as if I didn't.
That's cool, Drew. With the way that YouTube works, I wouldn't be surprised with that.
I have a question. What's your overall views on your channel?
I've got something like 70,000 or something.
Man, you lucky. I mean, after all my videos, I only have around 9,000 views overall.
Is it 70,000? Let me check, actually.
It's pretty cool that you can just go into YouTube, go to your channel, go to, like, About or something, and it'll tell you, like, how many views in total you've done.
Alright, I'm going to go check right now how many views are on my channel. Actually, no, I was way off. I have 70,000 minutes. It's 4,164 views.
4,164 views.
Yeah. I think that's pretty impressive for as little of time as I've been streaming.
Yeah, I got...
Shout out to all of you crazy people up this late. I couldn't have come here without you.
It's only 2:44 a.m. for me, and it's not too crazy.
Hey, anyone who's up this late has a degree of crazy, and I am proud to be associated with them.
Yeah, you wonder how I drive everybody nuts, with a yakka.
Or up early, that's right. Let's not forget about our brothers across the pond.
The pond.
That's right. We are descended from the original world conquerors.
The pond.
And those of you who aren't from England, we have a lot of ancestry from you guys as well. Actually, most of my ancestry is from the German-Polish area.
So I hope you did not do that 23andMe thing where you, put your blood to try to find out what your heritage is.
That is a good question, Ron. Oh, I know I did not do that, Pisces. Which Titan has the most elegant death animation? I'm going to tell you, I'm definitely not the one to do that because, my first Titan I leveled up all the way through grinding was Venom Tusk. And a giant pig never has an elegant death animation.
No, I remember watching somebody's stream back when Thor first came out. I remember watching somebody stream and they go, I noticed he has two different deaths. One where he just falls, the other one where he stumbles and then he just backflips.
Yes, Yoon, we said crazy, and I'm glad that you answered. Because you were with me all the way through that 3-hour Valkyrie stream. The only one that stood all the way through it. While there was others that came in a little later or started as early, no one stayed the duration. So I can officially say that you outlasted even the YouTuber himself. Oh, Korthos is the king of the paladins, Ron.
Korthos? I thought it was Korthan.
Oh, probably.
It's man.
Maybe I'm the one with the pile of white stuff in front of me now.
Okay, now I get the joke about that. I didn't get it at first. I thought it,
it's totally inappropriate.
I can't do that crap.
It's totally inappropriate. I should have never made that. Let's see.
No, it only took me the second time to hear it to understand it.
Korthan, there you go. The thing I want to know is, does Mamesh sound like screams of the developer or devs?
No, I still can't.
Fair question, Nigel.
Korthos.
Wait, is there a Korthos even in the game? Korthan's death's pretty cool.
I don't think so.
You know, now I feel embarrassed because of all of the Titans that I have as on my thumbnail for most of my videos. Who is it? It's Corthan. That's because I'm the king, baby.
Yeah, but yet you forget your own name.
That's right.
You know, I wish I could make thumbnails, but I don't understand how to do it on a mobile phone.
Well, when I stream, I have my mobile phone do the streaming while I am on my PC watching the analytics come in. Yes, I have secondary motives for making these videos. I like to see how content creation affects YouTube views. Because up to this point, I've specialized solely in paid advertisement as opposed to organic. And I've been seeing my organic traffic increase more over the course of time recently. Which is fascinating.
I'm glad to see some new players coming in. Even though, you know, when you first start off, it's pretty horrible. It's like one of those where you want to get a 3-star Titan almost off the bat and vote for a Ranger. Because usually they're like one of the best start off, in my opinion. I had a mini actually once, and I got, in my opinion, one of the best best Sardus ever. It had 2 Grenadiers damage and 2 Grenadiers resist range.
Wow.
I thought it was one of the best.
3-star Rangers used to be all the rage. And Drew, you're right. The king does and says what the queen flippin' wants to do and say. And that's why in the future I look forward to being wrapped in a straitjacket in the room next to you. And all the rest of you guys that are up.
I'll never be in a straitjacket, man. I'm too smart for it.
Yeah, well, you'll outlast us that are not that smart.
Well, I know what not to do and what to and what not to do. Because I have a certain way of thinking. And sometimes it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. And then my sister comes, "You have no common sense." And I'd stare at her like, "Yeah, what about it?"
All right. Drew, I agree with that statement that you make. And that's actually what I want you guys in chat to tell me. What was the first Titan that you really started to enjoy outside of your 4-star Titans? So, Duran, why?
It was my first 3-star Ranger, and going from leveling up a 4-star champion, all the way to 40, just using him, going to 3-star Ranger, it really changed up my gameplay. And then when I got Kratos, when I got back from taking a break from Dawn Titan, using him really changed the gameplay. It was really enjoyable using him. Unfortunately, Kratos had 3 damage against Titans, which are pretty crappy because once the Titans die, the skills become absolutely useless.
Drew, Logu, I shout out to Logu, great Titan. Nigel says, I look at it as there's a fine line between genius and insanity. All insane say that. So.
Yeah, Einstein only slept like a 3-hour period and took 2 naps throughout the day. Only 15 to 20 minutes each. So you can imagine, and there's a person I met, a person who only sleeps 1 hour a day, and they work perfectly fine, they're smart, their job's pretty useful. So, it depends on the person, and the spider's starting to get up and look at me more.
You know what? From now on, Pisces, you are going to be the mascot of my stream. Comments like that are just amazing. Guys, the spider's starting to look at me a little bit more aggressively. If my stream goes off, know who to blame.
Dude, it was bowing its head and keeping it down, thinking I'm gonna hit it. And now it's like raising its head and kind of moving its, I forget what they're called, legs, I guess? Fangs, legs, whatever. And it's just like starting to stare at me a bit more.
Well, for your sake, I hope it doesn't get aggressive. And as for the rest of you guys in stream, I appreciate the shout out to Cormac because he was my first 3-star that I took past level 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Drew makes a comment directly for you, Pisces.
What?
He says, Pisces, just kill it and put it out of its misery.
Oh, man. You don't even know what I look like. No, I'm gonna catch it, I'm thinking. You know they actually play dead and you capture them?
No, I didn't. And Nigel, you still have your level 43 Cormac. Congratulations.
Zon still has his level 30 Kolar.
Well, Kobar is an initiation tool to this game. Absolutely necessary part of it.
You got that specific Kobar.
Ron has a level 50 version of it. You guys are dedicated to those early Titans. The moment I could get rid of my Cormac, I did. It went straight into my Soulzar. My second level Titan.
Nice. Highest Titan yet for me, Yaka. Nothing comes near. I had a 30. Nothing comes near because the only other highest level I had was level 53 star, but for 4 stars was a level 40 Cold Dam, which I got rid of. Otherwise, I had Kronkos at 36. Yeah, nothing really ever near as what I have my Yak at.
Alright, tomorrow, guys, I am going to be grinding quite a bit. I don't know if I'll be able to stream the entire time I'll be doing that, but my wife is basically saying, hey, I'm going to take the kids out and go see the grandparents, and you can have the day to yourself, which has not happened in like...
Year.
I can't even remember. So, I meant today, like, for example, I'd let you guys know yesterday that my 4-year-old girl had her birthday party, so I did all the planning, got it all set up. We had a little pool party for her, and it was amazing.
Nice. And then 2 days before that, 2 of your kids got up and diaperless running around the house.
That's right. That is the joy of being a parent. You get the pleasure of doing the birthdays and the pain of doing the diapers.
Yeah, well, apparently doing my diapers, or at least my family, me and my siblings' diapers, was not a pain to my mom.
Yeah. Well, I am going to leverage all of this stuff I do for my little girls now and tell them when they get old, I changed your diapers for 5 years. I expect at least double that when you have to change mine.
No, my mom can't smell, so I had no problem doing diapers.
Wow, that is a lucky woman.
Yeah, well, when she was younger, her nose used to just constantly bleed, so she eventually lost the sense of smell. It drives me nuts because every time something smells awful, and I turn to her and I go, doesn't it smell awful? And a split second later, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, you can't smell. And she just starts laughing her head off, and I'm just sitting there like, she's such a pain.
Alright, so we got Drew says, or Drawn Gamer says that Drew, lol, have ya? Drew says, but I've heard some players doing that for their projects. I would never do that. It's too bonkers. All right. They're just having their own personal chat, and that's great. Because at this point in all of these streams, any sign of intelligent conversation is rare and appreciated.
Oh man, yeah, especially dealing with my generation. You know, the spider has 4 legs on the left and 3 legs on the right. It lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
We could speculate at this point. I'm thinking that the spider is part of the spider or fight club for just spiders, and it was its recent battle. It lost horribly.
Either that or as initiation, they had to lose one of his legs.
There you go. That makes sense because most initiations involve people losing legs.
Yeah, who said that I should just kill it?
Who said put it out of its misery?
Was it Drew or not Nigel? I thought it was Nigel.
I believe it was Drew, and if I'm wrong, I am sorry, Nigel. If I'm right, told you so, Nigel. Don't discount me again. Uh-oh. He went for it, guys.
I got tired of staring at it.
Shout out to Valwyn. All right, it's good to see that Paladins, even Valwyn, got love. Valwyn used to be they used to call her the mini Freya.
Oh, no, you don't know Valwyn until you've been on Shaw's stream. Me and, can't even think of his name. Me and somebody else, we had such an inside joke. Shaw, somebody else, and me. Oh, all about Valwyn, man.
Sweet.
Now, if you ever see Shaw on somebody's stream of DOT, bring up Red Bull. You'll get it.
Fair enough. Well,
oh, man, that guy was hilarious.
We are down to the last few battles for tonight, guys.
3 a.m. rock and roll.
If there are any YouTubers currently in my stream, and you would like me to put a link to your channel because you plan on going live after, I am happy to do it. Try to keep the stream as alive for as long as possible. If there's no one, then we'll just have to go back to the olden days of this game when you couldn't stream with it, or you couldn't grind with anybody else. You had to do it all on your own.
It looks more disgusting now that I killed it. It's like squished half open, and then like its legs form a C shape.
That's just because you're feeling guilty for murder.
Oh, no, look. Man. In the future, when your kids grow up, when you start hearing, them call your name, screaming it out loud, and then you get there and like, what? And then you're like, oh, it's a bug. And you understand my pain. I had 2 older sisters who kept yelling for me.
Yeah. Well, you will never be able to understand my pain that I don't even understand yet. I am going to have 3 teenage daughters at the same time.
Ooh, that sucks. I know somebody who does know your pain. Well, they're kind of into their teens now. Person down the hill, they had triplets, so, they're currently like 2 or 3 years younger than me, so they're in their teens now.
No, my girls aren't anywhere near that age at the moment. I got a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old at the moment.
All you gotta do is teach them, to learn responsibility and, respect. Don't let them be like a single child type one.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that they will never get married until they're at least 40 years old. So they just shouldn't even try to attempt to date.
No, I mean, you can never hold them on dating unless they're like super loyal to you.
Oh, there we go. Ron brings up a great statement. It's time to talk about our exes, everybody. Our ex-Titans.
Great for me. I got what you're
Alright. My ex-Titans are the ones that I have at level 60 now. They're the ones that I used and abused till I maxed them out, and then I moved on. And those Titans are Italis, Solzar, Skolnar, and Venom Tusk.
My current one is now Yatka. Except I've been using her just for the arena during the Years of War, but other than that, I don't use her.
Oh, look at this. Why wasn't this castle available 20 minutes ago? This is like prime time raiding area. Because they're full lands with low-level troops.
Nice.
Guys, we are back to double digits watching the stream. We have gone as low as 8 and have been as high as 18 tonight.
We need double digits.
We got 10 people watching right now.
Oh, okay. You're talking about like people who are watching.
Now, those of you who are watching, I want to go ahead and get a type of 1 in chat if you are not located in the States. So out of the 10 or 9 people now, how many of you guys are outside of the States and across the pond?
Well, it's out of the states and across the pond specifies, because you say out of the states, people like in Mexico or Canada, they
That's fine with me. Outside of the States. It could be all of that. Okay, we got Nigel here. Ron Gamer.
But isn't Ron somewhere across the pond?
Yep.
Oh yeah, because this is morning, isn't it?
Yep. Well, that's why this game is awesome. Because it attracts people from multiple countries and multiple lifestyles, and we all have something in common while we're playing.
I should take a picture of the spider and send it to you.
It's 8:05 your time. It is a cool 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. my time.
Well, it's 3 a.m. for me.
See, I started this stream with I think like 2,400 souls.
Really?
So hopefully I will end up with 3,800. That'd be preferable. That'd be 100 battles. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of my grinding off stream because I do it a lot slower on stream.
Yeah, because all the stuff that's running, it kind of slows it down, right?
That's true. Alright, so I am gonna actually finish off this. No, I think I'm good. Alright, so 3,800, that's perfect.
What was that? Sorry.
Yeah, watch the language. We don't curse on this stream, but I appreciate you trying to catch yourself.
Something hit me and surprised me, and it just came out. I didn't expect it.
Honestly, it's probably the crying kids of that spider that you killed. They've come out to protest.
Something bigger.
Oh, we got Australia here. Aussie Chris. All right. We have
I have a
three
friend in Australia.
people outside of the States that are representing countries that have gamers just like here. I'm sure your guys' gamers across the seas are much more efficient than ours because I tend to think most gamers in the States are either college students or they're fat. and they're sitting in a chair. And I fit into the latest category. I need to work out a little bit more.
That's very stereotyping people. That's rude.
That's true.
There's a large portion of skinny people gamers.
Well, I used to be a skinny gamer. Now I'm a fat gamer. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess I really can't say I'm a huge level of gamer I was in the past. My soul count is 3814 right now, you. I'd wanted to get to 5,000 today, but I've actually got to get a little bit of rest. What I can do in the meanwhile is request some troops.
So is there a specific time you normally start streaming? Or is it like, is it like...
It's normally between 8 and 10 Pacific that I normally start streaming. Okay, I have 4 hours to my next upgrade. Oh, and by the way, guys, I plan on doing a stream night to celebrate reaching castle level 23. We are.
You gotta reach 23, huh?
Yep, I am a day and 7 hours away from hitting it. Yoon, you're beating me now, but just remember, just like that Valkyrie event on stream, I'm going to overcome the lead that you've given. So next time I'm streaming, unless you've been doing 7, going down. Alright, well, anyway. In soul count.
You already passed me.
No, it's Yoon. See Yoon. In the comments, Yoon's saying that we're at 6,200 souls.
Nice.
Which is almost twice as many as I have.
See,
But,
here's the thing, I thought you were talking to me.
oh no. No, my IQ has dropped during the course of my streams. When it starts, I think I'm at the highest point of about maybe 90. And by the end of the stream, I'm at like single digits. Basically, I'm a drooling mess right now, guys. But I appreciate you guys sticking with it, or with me.
No problem.
Pisces, shout out to you for sticking in on Discord. Shout out to everyone else that's in chat right now that stuck with me throughout this. It does wear you down, Drew.
What? Streaming?
Oh. I do want to say that thank you, everyone, for coming to visit the kingdom tonight. Those of you who are free to play, you've set up house because this is the kingdom of free to play. Those of you who are just stopping by for a visit, enjoy the strategies that you pick up.
And don't forget, he called Corthan Corthos.
That's true.